As the 2025 season reaches Turin, a variety of different mindsets enter the chat. You see, 370 weeks in the top 10, it's record-breaking stuff for the Giant. But if you ask him, mental health is beginning to climb the beanstalk. So can Tony push him over the edge in 2026? That's the question he wants to know. For Fritz, frustrations are beginning to fester because if you ask him, his time should have arrived like his Chipotle order last night. And for his American counterpart, things seems to be falling into place a lot more organically with less fuss. Armed with his dad's wisdom and new girlfriend, honestly, the sky seems the limit for the young lad. But can the shoulder hold up? And that is scary hours for the boy. And to the skier turned tennis player, this isn't about trophies anymore. It's about legacy. And if you ask any Spaniard in Spain, Spain has a new heartbeat, and he may one day leave his own footprint on a center court as well. But will his legacy be eclipsed by a fox? And to the hardest working player on tour who just secured their spot in Paris last week, does he have enough mental energy to make a legit run? And to the two people yelling outside the castle, I believe it's an Italian and Canadian fighting over the last key to get in. Who's going to get it? I don't know. And to my question to you guys, who's going to win this tournament when it's all said and done? Let's break down the final eight's body language here, starting off with Fritz from the jump. You can tell he's screaming, I have been here before. I'm tired of the shit. I want my fucking major. He's here to play and clearly not here to posture. His eyes, it just says everything, and this is nothing new to him. You can just tell he's been here before. Now moving along to Alcaraz, projecting dominance, hitting the superhero stance, emulating pack leader, but this all still feels very new to him, and you can tell the way he's taking this photo. He's excited, and it's amazing to still feel that way after how many wins he's had. ADM, crossed arms, coming off as professional with his relaxed eyes, but really, this is more the stance of a quiet introvert. Who knows? The mountain that he's got to climb in the next week is a lot steeper than his colleagues, and he fucking knows that. And honestly, this has just been the story of his career. Hence, the battle-scarred eyes. The dingo is knackered. Now, moving on to Alexander, postured like he is the hunter-gatherer of the group. They're about to be shipped off to a deserted island, not to play tennis. He's about to be shipped off to a deserted island, and he's going to be the one calling the shots. Thus, the energy. But this is tennis, not Lord of the Flies. Now let's move on to our favorite Italian. Fresh off a Gucci shoot, it kind of feels a little bit unfair. He's had a little bit of practice. Musetti has played 21 tournaments this year. Felix, on the other hand, has played a whopping 28. But let's break down and see who's actually had the better season. On one hand, one of these players would march down to Turin and operate flawlessly. On the other hand, one would trudge down and just be cannon fodder. If the finals were on clay, sure, we could argue that Musetti deserves to be there. But let's dive in a little bit more. Lorenzo would be at home if he went down to Turin and played, but the fact of the matter remains that one-handed backhand is going to get ran through, especially with the talent on the other side of the net. It's just a fact. Until he goes off and develops his backhand to become, let's say, a little bit more strong and more Wawrinka-like, him qualifying for Turin feels a little bit premature. Some would say violently premature. But Felix's campaign, on the other hand, it feels way more organic, perfectly timed. You got to realize he's been mimicking this Federer-like template for years, and finally everything is clicking, especially when it comes to facing the big dogs on tour since the US Open. Crumble cookie no more. This is jaw-breaking tennis. Now it's time to start dragging those opponents towards the curb during important points. Will he be able to do that? We shall see. Will Lorenzo Musetti make the semifinals? And it won't be a story at all. These boys are not necessarily the biggest fans of each other. From the handshake at the press conference to the handshake at the net to celebrating like you just won a major. Certainly odd, Mr. Zverev, but I think that sign seals and delivers that tennis has a new rivalry. Watching today, Zverev's serve reminded me of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings. It's going to hold off any opponent until he can find a way to sneak out. That's exactly what we saw in the second set tiebreak. Listen, having 65% of your first serves go unreturned is going to help you get the W any day of the week. I mean, what we were watching, guys, was first strike tennis from the jump. Only 4 points in the first set went past a 9-ball rally. And when Ben, it's very frustrating because Ben was not playing enough balls, in my opinion, to the Zverev forehand, and players on the ATPTour rather, should be treating that wing like a one-handed backhand, respectfully. That being said, Zverev got the W with clean backhands and clean serving, and the forehand was the forehand. Let's all remember, Felix lost by 1 break last time, eh? That is it. So before you nuke the Sinner money line, let's assess. 3 sets here is not out of the question. I mean, the value is massive on Felix, so I'm not going to be mad at you guys if you sprinkle on that. I don't think it's an under 25% chance that he could win. So definitely sprinkle on that. And for the boys in the Discord, that's my advice. Moving on to Fritz Musetti. Now here's a nuke. We are going to nuke the Fritz money line. There is no way he should be even in this tournament, respectfully. That being said, if Fritz shows up like Zverev did with the serve today, he's going to win this in straight sets. That being said, I'll see you in the next one. Tennis Instructor Wheeler, out.